Hello everyone, welcome back to my channel. Today's video will be pretty much all about Poland. However, I will mention the United States, to be precise, Washington DC and Trump's administration. And I will also mention very briefly Russia. But what we are doing today in Poland, well, we have a holiday. We celebrate the 3rd of May, that is a Constitution Day in Poland. And just to give you some historical facts, the declaration of the Constitution of May 3rd, 1791 was the first modern constitution in Europe. And I believe that the United States had constitution established in 1789, and it was in March. I don't remember the day exactly. So I think, if I'm not mistaken, that Poland had the second constitution established in the world after the United States. I might be wrong. Don't quote me on that. But what I have for you today, I'm gonna play 2 videos. Well, actually 3. The last one will be the most pleasant one because it's something that I have to acknowledge. This is my homeland, and I would like to show you something from Poland. But the first thing is the visit that took place in Washington, D.C., and this is one of the Polish candidates for the president of Poland. And this month, we're gonna have the election. Went to Washington, D.C. He said that he was invited by the Trump's administration, and he had some meetings with Marco Rubio and Speaker of the House, Johnson, I believe, and probably a few others. I will play this video to show you that visit. I will have a little comment on that. Then I will show you an article about that person and just highlight maybe 2 things. And then I will also show you the response from the opposition. That opposition is actually the party that is ruling Poland right now. So the Prime Minister Donald Tusk. So the commentary from that side to the visit of Karol Nawrocki. And he is representing, we could say, the party that is no longer the party running Poland, so Law and Justice. That's what I think, because I'm getting confused what they represent, all of them. Very unhealthy to watch the Polish political scene. Let me just tell you, I'm trying to avoid it as much as I can because it's just very, very sad picture. But let's look at this. This will be translated in English. It's a Polish YouTube channel. However, it's already translated. So we're gonna take a look. You're gonna see him in the White House, and then I tell you with my humble opinion, what I think about it. So let's take a look.
U.S. President Donald Trump held a meeting with the citizens candidate for president of Poland, Karol Nawrocki. This is a clear sign that Washington, D.C. is betting on relations with Nawrocki and Poland. The president of the Polish Institute of National Remembrance also met with U.S. Secretary of State Marco Rubio, House of Representatives Judiciary Committee Chairman Jim Jordan, and Republican Party politicians. Many would like the opportunity to have at least a moment's conversation with the president of the United States, but only a few have that opportunity. Karol Nawrocki, a citizens candidate for president of Poland, is among these few. I met with the president of the United States, Donald Trump, even though this meeting was not on the official agenda, because this day in Washington, D.C. for President Trump was an exceptionally busy one, which we followed together. The White House itself confirmed Karol Nawrocki's meeting in the Oval Office with President Trump, posting a photo on social media. And what was the conversation about? President Trump said, "You will win." I read it as a kind of wishing me success in the upcoming election. These are significant words because Donald Trump has walked a difficult road to the presidency.
Nawrockiego była wizytą polityka,
Karol Nawrocki's visit was a visit by a politician who wants an alliance with the US, who wants an alliance of values, who wants a military alliance, who wants an energy alliance, and who puts Poland's relationship with the US with all the difference and potentials. We are talking here about the relationship of a medium-sized country with big aspirations with a country that is, one might say, a global world empire.
Z państwem, które jest, można powiedzieć, globalnym, światowym.
In addition to the White House leadership, Karol Nawrocki also met with key figures in the United States.
To była rozmowa o ogólnej sytuacji, o wydarzeniu, bo to wydarzenie, które też przyciągnęło uwagę opinii publicznej.
There was a conversation with the Speaker of the House of Representatives. There was also a meeting with Marco Rubio, of course, and with more congressmen, but also with secretaries. These talks touched on all the most important issues and Polish-American relations.
Także z kongresmenami, ale również z sekretarzami. Te rozmowy dotykały wszystkich najważniejszych spraw relacji polsko.
Marco Rubio is the U.S. Secretary of State, who also took over as security advisor. That is, the person who shapes international policy alongside the President of the United States. Another person was Defense Secretary Pete Hegseth. There was also Robert Jr. Kennedy, who is in charge of the Department of Health and Welfare. There was no shortage of House of Representatives Speaker Mike Johnson. Karol Nawrocki also met with Jim Jordan, who chairs the Judiciary Committee of the House of Representatives, and with the director of the Domestic Policy Council, Vince Haley. It is also worth noting that he met with Susie Wiles, in charge of the White House staff. The main topics of these talks were security issues.
Karol
Nawrocki, as we can see, is a guarantee of continuing very good relations with the U.S. In fact, Donald Trump shows the whole world that relations with Poland are important to him. So this is also a clear indication to Vladimir Putin. Let's remember, security policy is that old rule. You want peace? Then get ready for war.
To jest ta stara zasada. Chcesz pokoju?
Karol Nawrocki flew to the United States to solicit Polish votes. Dr. Karol Nawrocki was invited to the U.S. for a pretty serious holiday and went there primarily to meet with the Polish-American community, which is obvious in the case of a candidate who is running for the office of the President of Poland, because after all, the Polish-American community is a very large electorate. Every year on the 3rd of May, there is a May 3rd Constitution Parade in Chicago, where Polish people living in the United States celebrate not only the second Constitution after the American one, but first and foremost, Polishness.
It's interesting how that last commercial of those hanging creatures kind of represents something. I'm joking, right? But my thoughts, on the serious note, my thoughts about that visit. Well, you will win. So now the question is, do they know for sure he will win? Are they doing something about it that he will win? Did they put that victory already in place? You know where I'm going with this? I don't know. What does this really mean? Because if US is already choosing this person to be the president, is it a good thing? I have to tell you, there are 3 candidates, in my opinion, that probably will have the most votes. I think Brown probably is leading, but they are not reporting on it. You know, I mentioned him before. This is the very same person who is in European Parliament, and he makes very bold statements, and they kick him out from the building because they don't like what he says. And he also used the fire extinguisher to bring down Hanukkah in Polish Parliament. So that one, I think he is leading, to be honest. Then we have Mencen, that's another one from Konfederacja Party, and I think Nawrocki might be there as well. So how does it look like? It looks like clearly this is who Trump's administration probably, I'm assuming, would like to be the next Polish president. How do I see this person? I will say, from not having enough information about him, just more looking at him as a rather easy to be manipulated. That's how I perceive this. Someone who is rather soft, doesn't have much backbone, in my opinion. And I don't think there is, at this point, and I know I might upset some viewers, it's not about agreeing with the declarations and the promises. It's not that. It's about having the backbone and having enough strength and mental discipline to be able to handle that position. I don't see anyone at this moment. And I know it might upset some people that I say it. However, I really don't. It's a very sad moment. It's a very sad political scene in Poland. I know I'm rambling now, but that's how I see it. It's not easy to choose from who, really. Declaration-wise, yes, I agree with Maciej Maciak. There are some declarations I agree with Brown as well. But overall, I don't see one particular person that I think would be great Polish president. I just don't. So now let me show you who is Karol Nawrocki. I came across this article from Rzeczpospolita, so just keep in mind this is Soros money behind this portal, newspaper. And I'm not going to read the entire article. If you're interested, you can do it yourself. I will just go to the title and one point that I found down below. Karol Nawrocki, who is the presidential candidate supported by PiS? PiS is Prawo i Sprawiedliwość, and that is Law and Justice. Karol Nawrocki, historian, former director of the Museum of the Second World War in Gdańsk, and currently president of the Institute of National Remembrance. In the May presidential election, he is running as a so-called civic candidate supported by the Law and Justice Party. What do we know about it? So here you can read about him, but when I was scrolling down, one thing really grabbed my attention. Let me find it. Sorry, guys, let me find it because I lost it, but it's a good one. Okay, here it is. In February 2024, so last year, Karol Nawrocki was placed on the list of people wanted by the Russian Federation in connection with criminal charges for activities related to the removal of monuments commemorating the presence of the Red Army in the Polish in the years of 1944-1989. So I just leave it with that to your own opinion about this person. And now I want to play you the reaction from the representative of the ruling party to that visit that took place in Washington and what they think about it, that Nawrocki met with Trump. The translation will be in the subtitles, so just please read it and let's take a look.
Ale dwa zdania o nich trzeba powiedzieć. Panie ministrze, zrobiła na panu wrażenie ta wizyta Karola Nawrockiego w gabinecie owalnym. Biały Dom udostępnił zdjęcie na oficjalnym profilu. Posłowie PiS dzisiaj publikują je na wszystkie możliwe sposoby.
Wie pan co, nie bardzo zrobiło na mnie wrażenie, ponieważ już parę miesięcy temu byłem przekonany, że tak słaby kandydat będzie musiał szukać poparcia u Trumpa. Przecież PiS jest trumpowski w całości. Jakby nie dostrzegając, że cały świat ma problem z Trumpem, że Trump tak naprawdę rozwala świat. Ale oni się do niego przytulają. Nie zdziwiło mnie to. A poza tym podstawowa sprawa. Panie redaktorze, prezydenta w Polsce będą wybierać Polacy, a nie Trump i nie Amerykanie. W związku z tym, gdyby miesiąc spędzał pan Nawrocki w Stanach Zjednoczonych, nie sądzę, żeby mu to przydało szczególnego znaczenia. Nie mówiąc o tym, że Polacy są coraz bardziej nieufni wobec postępowania Ameryki.
To wszystko
i
prawda.
Donalda Trumpa.
Prezydenta wybiorą Polki i Polacy, a nie nawet Donald Trump z Marco Rubio, ale to ma być, rozumiem, w przekonaniu PiS-u czy sztabowców PiS taki dowód na siłę, na sprawczość Nawrockiego. Zestawiane są te zdjęcia właśnie kandydata PiS-u w tych wyborach z Rafałem Trzaskowskim wczoraj w Sopocie. Paweł Szefernaker czy Radosław Fogiel kpią, że Donald Tusk co najwyżej może spotkać, Rafał Trzaskowski może co najwyżej spotkać się w Sopocie z Tuskiem, a proszę, Nawrocki z Trumpem. To może trafić do podstrzechy gdzieś tam przy majówkowym grillu.
Panie redaktorze, pozwolę sobie wątpić w taką tezę i mam wrażenie, że jest to raczej akt rozpaczy.
No dobrze, ale jeszcze jedna sprawa a propos tego, zupełnie już poważna. Karol Nawrocki w kuluarach tam w Ogrodzie Różanym i przed spotkaniem z Donaldem Trumpem mówił o tym, że rozmawiał z wieloma politykami republikanów, między innymi z Marco Rubio, także z kongresmenami i że zwraca uwagę, albo jemu też zwracano uwagę na sytuację w Polsce co do praworządności. Nawrocki mówił, że nawet sprawa Barbary Skrzypek się pojawiła, że kwestia dofinansowania kampanii dla PiS-u. Czy pan widzi w tym jakieś drugie tło, głębszy problem, czy to jest tylko coś, co gdzieś tam jest jako w formie plotki czy kuluarowej?
Tak, widzę w tym przede wszystkim objaw niesłychanej hipokryzji PiS-u, bo kiedy polscy europarlamentarzyści zgodnie z uprawnieniami, jakie posiadają, skarżyli się w Unii Europejskiej na łamanie prawa Unii Europejskiej przez rząd PiS-u poprzez zamach na wolne sądy, to byli okrzyczeni zdrajcami. A tutaj pan Nawrocki łasi się do Trumpa i donosi na swój własny kraj. No, przepraszam bardzo, to jest rodzaj hipokryzji, który jest na poziomie komizmu już nawet, a nie faktu politycznego.
Ale może jedni i drudzy, będę w tej roli symetrysty, trudno, macie taką tendencję do tego, żeby przy ważnych wyborach szukać gdzieś takiego wsparcia, a to w Brukseli, a to w Waszyngtonie, a to w innych
Nie, to jest nieprawda. Znaczy tutaj pan stawia bardzo bolesną diagnozę, że Polacy są niezdolni do rozwiązywania sporów.
Polacy są, tylko może sztabowcy.
Więc przypominam, że te interwencje, które były prowadzone przez posłów ówczesnej opozycji w Brukseli, nie były związane z wyborami, tylko były związane z ewidentnym i poświadczonym wyrokami Europejskiego Trybunału Sprawiedliwości, naruszeniami systemu prawnego Unii Europejskiej. To była formalna interwencja i
Okay, I think we had enough of this. So in his words, entire world is against Trump and Trump is destroying the world. So having Polish candidate for president going there, it's something very pathetic and humorous because he looks very desperate because he's going to Trump and everyone hates Trump in a nutshell. That's the response. And, you know, we have two main evils on this planet right now. The number one that is holding this position forever will be Putin. Well, not forever, of course, but, you know, in their mind, Putin, and then we have Trump. So maybe we will have one more to have this holy trinity of evil in their opinion. And, you know, I just want to play something before I end this video that is of a completely different nature to just set the tone for a nice day for everyone, including myself. When I think about Poland, I want to think about Poland, how you will see this video, because this is my homeland. This is the country that I come from. I have a difficulty to feel truly where do I belong, because I've lived many years in other country and I've traveled a lot. So it's not an easy place to be, because you appreciate many things in many different locations, and you also don't like things in many locations. So, you know, they say your home is where your heart is. However, when I look at those images, this is how I see Poland. I want to show you the beauty of Poland. I want to show you the soul, the architecture, the country, a beautiful location that Poland is. And if you put aside all the political tensions and all the history and the lies and manipulations, and you look at that from the vantage point of appreciating the beauty, then you have a little bit different perspective about the country. And even the mentality of a lot of Polish people is not easy to handle. I also know that many other nations also don't have an easy mentality to handle for other nations. So let me play this video to end my video with. And with this being said, I hope you enjoy it. If you do, make sure to hit the thumbs up, subscribe to my channel, and leave the comments down below. Please support me on Patreon if you can, and you can also become the member of my channel. You have locals community and my Instagram page as well, Ania_K_44. And with this being said, let me take you to the video. Lots of love, and remember, we are the leading edge, and we are saving humanity. That's all for today. Bye everyone. Have a wonderful day, and I see you in another video.